Welcome to IQD Dinar News, your go-to source for the latest updates on currency exchange rates, revaluation news, and insights into the Iraqi dinar. Stay informed and ahead of the curve with our timely analysis and breaking developments. The statement mentions Iraq's plans to stop its foreign currency auctions, a significant development in the country's monetary policy. To understand this, it's important to grasp the context of these currency auctions and their role in Iraq's economy. Currency auctions have been a central feature of Iraq's financial system for years, specifically to stabilize the dinar's exchange rate against the US dollar. These auctions, managed by the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, allow banks and financial institutions to purchase US dollars at a fixed rate, which are then used for foreign trade and other financial purposes. The reasoning behind this system is linked to Iraq's reliance on oil exports, which are priced in US dollars. By using the auctions, Iraq has maintained a controlled exchange rate for the dinar. However, this system has been subject to significant scrutiny, with allegations of corruption, misuse of funds, and inefficiency. Critics argue that it has led to a black market for dollars and facilitated money laundering and other financial crimes. Moreover, the auctions have not been successful in fully stabilizing the economy or addressing the broader structural problems Iraq faces, such as its dependence on oil and lack of diversification. The mention of a specific date, October 1, when Iraq might cease these auctions, is particularly important. The timing suggests a deliberate shift in policy by the Iraqi government and central bank, potentially as part of broader economic reforms. There has been ongoing speculation and debate regarding the impact of stopping the auctions, with many suggesting that it could lead to significant changes in the value of the Iraqi dinar. This has been a focal point for those interested in the potential revaluation of the currency, especially among investors and observers who have been following Iraq's financial developments closely. The idea that halting the currency auctions could lead to a revaluation is tied to the belief that the auctions artificially suppress the value of the dinar. By ending them, the argument goes, Iraq would allow the market to set a more accurate exchange rate, which some predict could lead to a significant increase in the value of the currency. For years, speculation about a revaluation has driven interest in the dinar, particularly among foreign investors who see potential profits if the currency appreciates. This development also aligns with broader trends in Iraq's relationship with the US Treasury and international financial institutions. The country has been under pressure to reform its financial system, address corruption, and modernize its economy. These reforms are necessary not only for Iraq's internal stability but also to foster better relations with global financial markets and institutions like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. Ending the currency auctions could signal Iraq's intent to move toward a more market-driven economy, where the value of the dinar is determined by supply and demand rather than government controls. This could have far-reaching implications for the country's economy. It might encourage foreign investment by creating a more transparent and predictable financial environment. Additionally, it could help combat the illicit financial flows that have plagued Iraq for years, as the auctions have been a known conduit for corruption and money laundering. However, this transition is not without risks. Without the controlled mechanism of the auctions, there is the potential for increased volatility in the exchange rate. Iraq's economy remains fragile, and sudden shifts in currency value could lead to inflation or other economic disruptions. The government would need to carefully manage this transition to avoid destabilizing the economy. The role of the US Treasury in this process is also worth noting. Iraq's financial system, particularly its dollar-based transactions, has been heavily influenced by its relationship with the US. The US Treasury has worked closely with Iraq on issues related to financial stability, anti-money laundering efforts, and sanctions enforcement. The fact that Iraq is reviewing this change with the US Treasury indicates that this is a coordinated effort, likely with the approval or guidance of the US government. This cooperation could be crucial in ensuring that Iraq's transition away from currency auctions is successful. The US Treasury has a vested interest in the stability of Iraq's economy, not only for economic reasons but also for geopolitical ones. A stable Iraq is seen as key to broader stability in the Middle East, and the US has invested significant resources in supporting Iraq's post-war reconstruction and development. The broader geopolitical implications of this move are also important to consider. Iraq is situated in a region where economic and political stability are often precarious. The decisions it makes regarding its currency and financial system could have ripple effects throughout the region. If Iraq is able to successfully transition away from the currency auctions and stabilize its economy, it could serve as a model for other countries in the region facing similar challenges. On the other hand, if the transition leads to economic instability, it could exacerbate existing tensions within Iraq and in the broader region. Iraq has already faced significant internal challenges, including political unrest, corruption, and security concerns related to groups like ISIS. Economic instability could further fuel these issues, making it even more difficult for the government to maintain control and implement reforms. For investors and those closely following Iraq's financial developments, the end of the currency auctions is a major signal to watch. It could mark the beginning of a new phase in Iraq's economic history, one that could potentially lead to a revaluation of the dinar. However, it is important to approach this with caution. While there is potential for significant gains if the dinar appreciates, there are also risks involved, particularly if the transition does not go as smoothly as planned. The possibility of revaluation has been a topic of much debate for years. Those who believe in the potential for a revaluation argue that Iraq's currency is undervalued and that the country's significant oil reserves and economic potential justify a stronger dinar. They see the end of the currency auctions as the key trigger for this revaluation, believing that once the government stops artificially controlling the exchange rate, the dinar's true value will emerge. However, others are more skeptical. They point to the many challenges Iraq faces, including its dependence on oil, political instability, and the slow pace of economic reforms. For these reasons, they argue that a significant revaluation is unlikely in the near term, and that any changes in the dinar's value will be gradual rather than sudden. Regardless of where one falls in this debate, it is clear that the decision to end the currency auctions is a major turning point for Iraq. It reflects the country's broader efforts to modernize its economy and reduce its reliance on outdated and inefficient systems. It also shows a willingness to take on difficult reforms, even in the face of potential risks. As Iraq moves forward with this transition, it will be important to watch how the government manages the shift away from the auctions and what measures it puts in place to stabilize the economy. The role of the US Treasury and other international partners will also be critical in ensuring that the transition is smooth and that Iraq is able to avoid any major economic disruptions. For those invested in the potential revaluation of the dinar, the end of the currency auctions is a key development to watch. While it does not guarantee that revaluation will happen, it is a significant step in that direction. Whether this leads to the outcome that many are hoping for remains to be seen, but it is clear that Iraq is entering a new phase in its economic journey, one that could have major implications for the country and its currency. Thanks for tuning in to IQD Dinar News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For more updates on the Iraqi dinar and global currency trends, hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.